Hold on to me. Don't let me go.
Major free agency movement.
2019 absolutely exceeded the hype.
Breaking news. Kevin Durant to the Brooklyn Nets.
The King and the Brown now teammates.
George is joining the club.
First name is free. Last name is down. Wow!
It was the Wild Wild West.
Fast. Free agency was fast.
164 million.
141 million.
They went all in
an 18-hour window.
2.6 billion. Teams just spent money like drunken sailors.
Transcendent players and
Superstars teaming together
will change the entire balance of the league.
I don't think we've ever seen more player empowerment.
Freedom.
I hope that these players understand that players who played before them and before me made several sacrifices.
Evolution of free agency, take one, A.B. Marker.
Some players know how this all got started, free agency, but a lot of them don't. For a long time, the owners control everything, trades, money, travel. Once you were selected by a team and given a contract, they had complete control over you.
Back in the day, at least back before 1970, players played for one team for life, unless the team chose to trade them.
We just knew that players needed something. It was about players' rights, players' conditions, contract negotiations, everything that the players didn't have to make a league great like it is today. That didn't happen until we went to court and negotiated the deal for ourselves.
He was the first player to sue the NBA for restrictive rights on players, trying to open the door for players to have free agency.
I don't think it should be to tie down a ball player. I personally feel that a reserve clause of this type is not needed.
It was finally settled in 1976. Restricted free agency was established, and then in 1988, Tom Chambers, moving from the Seattle Supersonics to the Phoenix Suns, was the first unrestricted free agent.
You make business decisions in your life, and this is a big one. This is probably the biggest one, and maybe the last big one I'll ever make, I hope.
As free agency came upon us, it was not something that we feared. It was something that the players had bargained for, and we always believed ultimately entitled to.
What is your gut telling you about Shaquille O'Neal?
Orlando has come out and said we are only going to offer X amount of dollars.
Early on, you might say it was players trying to maximize their salary.
Can someone else, mainly out on the West Coast, answer and pay the young man more?
Shaquille O'Neal is expected to announce that he has joined the LA Lakers.
I wanted to play in front of Jack Nicholson and Magic Johnson, so the opportunity presented itself, plus $120 million check.
I want to wish the Orlando Magic good luck. I'm just happy to, receive a good deal, and I'm just happy to be here.
Players have a different outlook on life as far as basketball goes. They're able to chart their own course and where they want to do and what they want to do. I'm very glad I was involved in that.
So if Oscar Robertson started free agency and opened the floodgates, LeBron James released the dam. What LeBron did in 2010 was completely turn it on its head.
This fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach.
We believe we can win multiple championships. Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7.
I think what LeBron is responsible for is player empowerment. He really took that to another level.
LeBron James was the first transcendent star to have really informal conversations with other star players, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and determining he was going to go to Miami.
To be here with D-Wade, to be here with CB, I understand now that I've made the right decision. LeBron James in a win-win situation, and will continue to be in a win-win situation.
He not only chose the destination he wanted to go, but he also chose the players he wanted to play with.
Oh, the House of Highlights!
That was something new that teams and agents and other players hadn't seen before.
The way LeBron James left and the vitriol that took place afterward just signified how critical his decision was to the masses.
What many of our players began to appreciate is, hey, why is he being criticized? That may have emboldened players about not feeling the pressure that teams and fans might have tried to exert on their choices.
The decision was one of those landmark moments in terms of really changing the way players go about their free agency.
LeBron James captures that elusive title he so desperately coveted.
It was LeBron's quote-unquote decision that reminded players that it is their decision and they should feel free to make it.
Players today view free agency as their one time when they actually can exercise control.
They're changing the entire landscape of the league. The league was never the same after LeBron James made that decision in 2010 and later when Kevin Durant made his decision to join the Warriors in 2016.
The announcement by Kevin Durant, he is changing teams to join the two-time defending Western Conference champion Golden State Warriors.
We live in this superhero comic book world where either you're a villain or you're a superhero if you're up in this position. I understand basketball fans around the world are, I guess, upset, but I got a short amount of time left to play basketball. I just want to enjoy every single day of it.
Players are planning for their own free agency probably years out. They carry their own brand and they're looking to where do I want to take my brand to next? I don't want to say the ball's completely in their court, but right now it's definitely more of a players-driven league than it ever has been.
What it's become fairly clear is that as a team, if you don't have a template to which great players feel like they can paint their masterpiece, they may not do it with you.
The domino effect started with Oscar Robertson, elevated with LeBron James in 2010, and then I think what we saw in 2019 was a complete explosion of it.
The most significant summer in NBA history.
Kyrie and KD with the Nets.
D'Angelo Russell to the what?
Kemba Walker's time with the Hornets over.
A masterful job by the Los Angeles Clippers.
Jimmy Butler.
Al Horford.
Another summer stunner.
Who cares what they know?
We're seeing franchise players move around. Some may question the loyalty. It's kind of just the lay of the land right now. GMs and teams and organizations need to be ready to move and pivot and accommodate, whether it's guys coming in or wanting to leave.
Why do you want to be traded in?
Just like it's my time. Don't know how long I'm gonna play this game. People's careers are short. And I feel like it's my time to move on.
I think it's hurtful to the whole notion of our league and our fandom when the player announces publicly that he's not planning to re-sign.
That's another method of player empowerment to me. That just goes to show that the players are able to dictate that they're gonna get moved.
When I found out I was getting traded to the Lakers, I realized it was an unbelievable opportunity for me to play alongside LeBron and play for an organization that's all about winning championships.
Whether it was Kyrie or Durant or Anthony Davis, which he would have been a free agent next year. Their common goal was they wanted to play with guys they wanted to play with, period.
When free agency started, I wanted to reach out to Brooklyn and let them know that I had some other pieces that I wanted to bring with me.
We sat down and talked about it and what basketball meant to us as a whole, and I think this is the perfect spot for us to hone our skills and continue to keep growing.
We had positioned ourselves over the past 3 years in which to have this opportunity, and we started trying to build something, sign the right guys, make ourselves a desirable destination for free agents wanting to come in and play with those guys.
We want to end our careers together. What better place to do it than Brooklyn with all these guys that have worked their tails off to be where they are now?
Really, what was the one big domino left? That was Kawhi Leonard.
The chase for Kawhi still waiting.
The last big dog on the board is Kawhi Leonard.
Where will the reigning finals MVP land?
Kawhi's situation seems like it's going to take a little longer.
There was literally a paralysis around the whole league for about 3 days, all for one player.
Breaking news, Kawhi Leonard is now a member of the Los Angeles Clippers.
Kawhi was doing something which I think every player should do, and that is to make sure that the team was helping to field a support cast that would help him secure a championship.
Paul George joining Kawhi Leonard to pull it off now. One of the best jobs we've seen in the NBA.
It's an opportunity for us to just build our own. We can make history here.
It just seems like this was destined. We were supposed to play together.
Oklahoma City got out everything they could from the Clippers. Russell Westbrook was traded shortly thereafter.
Houston was the place he wanted to go, and we were able to find a way to accomplish our goals and his
I thought it was the best decision for me in my career right now, and to be able to reunite with a brother, a friend, was exciting to me.
The GMs and the team presidents are not making the decisions, but the players are making the decisions on where they want to go. It's a mind shift that, you know, teams need to get used to because it's not going to change.
Are there owners that are unhappy that they've lost players? Sure. Are there owners that are delighted because they've gained these players? Sure. One man's pain is another man's pleasure.
If 4 or 5 guys decide they want to go to a certain team, boy, who can stop them? You know, I mean, can the league stop them? Maybe they can and maybe they can't. We have to wait and see.
I actually think it's good for the game that stars are changing teams. It's one of the beauties of the NBA that you can be bad one year and be good the next year by getting 1 or 2 new players on your team.
As a basketball fan, I think the player movement and the competitiveness that we're now going to be treated to this season is going to be over the top. I can't wait.